Hi everyone, this is Garrett Goose checking in. I know that this video is late. I've been under the weather. I suffer from vertigo, and sometimes those dizzy spells can last a little bit longer than, a couple days. So I was unable to get this in prior to the due date. However, I still wanted to weigh in and because I actually enjoy doing this assignment as well. I wanted to touch base on what the professor was talking about in his discussion in regards to leadership versus management. And of course, we know that I'm reading the book Leadership Theory and Practice by Peter Norhaus. So, and this goes back to chapter 1 in the book, where Norhaus is defining leadership as a practice whereby an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal. Big part of that piece there is that leadership involves influence. And pretty much without influence, there is no type of leadership. It's just not, it becomes non-existence without influence. So there's a dependency there. It also goes into highlighting leadership and management, the similarities between there. So, leadership entails working with people. Management does as well. Leadership is concerned with the effective goal accomplishment. So is management. So there's many functions of management that are consistent with the definition that we just talked about of leadership. But there's also some differences between leadership and management. So when in terms of management was created to kind of reduce the chaos in the organization, according to Norhaus, for the organization to run efficiently and effectively. So like for management's key functionalities are planning, organization, staffing, controlling. Those functionalities are still kind of represented in organizations today. Management is also about seeking order and stability. Leadership is about seeking adaptive and constructive change. So, that there's a difference there. They're looking for stability in management, but leadership is looking for adaptive and constructive change. I also like the fact that Professor was talking about how do you use your power, and I think that starts to touch base more on, the different styles of leadership that Norhaus starts to get into. As a leader myself, this book has really helped me to kind of narrow down what type of leader I am in terms of competencies, in terms of traits, in terms of style, their leadership grid. The leadership grid was something that I talked about in my discussion in terms of, the different style approach that when you talk about the style of a leader, you're talking about the behavior of a leader. And I like the fact that Norhaus says that there's two types of behaviors and related to the style approach of leadership. You got task behaviors and relationship behavior. And both of those behaviors work together to facilitate goal accomplishment. Then they go, as you get deeper into the book, which I am, you get a chance to see the different style approaches of leadership, as far as, transformational style of leadership, a situational approach, and it basically gives you scenarios on when that style is utilized, or, when a leader uses a little bit of one style and uses another style, is able to kind of break that down to, whether it's parental or a maternalism, where it's kind of like you're providing kind of like that family approach, or are you utilizing your style as an opportunity for yourself? So I like the way that Norhaus is breaking that down to make you assess what is your purpose in leadership. I think that for me, personally, when I came to my organization that I'm at currently in North Carolina, I knew how to be a leader, but my previous organization was more so structured on stabilization of the organization. So things had to be a certain type of way. We need to be working like a well-oiled machine. Yes, development of your staff and being relational with them was somewhat important, but everything needed to be by the book, by the structure, and so forth. So coming to this new environment was a little bit different for me, because there was no strict structure like I was used to in my previous organization. And the team of people that I was leading at the time needed to be led in a different way. So that caused me to really dig into what is leadership. How can I adapt my leadership style to this culture here in order to drive change and results? How can I become relational with these individuals to drive them and to influence them? And, it was funny because I was having a conversation with my mentor, and I was saying, now that I'm in a different role, I'm not a direct leader that has direct reports anymore, but I'm still an informal leader. I was saying to her that, I wanted, sometimes I don't know if I made an impact. And, as soon as I said that, as far as impact goes, I started to see different things that I have impacted as a leader. I've seen 4 or 5 people just recently get promoted as of me, coaching them, training them, developing them, encouraging them. Different things that I have seen as far as people asking me for a reference, for them to move forward. These are things that I never thought that this staff or group of people would even think about. They were content in the roles that they were, business as usual. So seeing that transformational mindset as the organization is realigning and transforming really has been rewarding for me to see my impact as a leader. And I'm sorry that this has been a little long-winded. All right, thank you.